Hi again. It's what time is this? 20 minutes to 2 o'clock on Thursday. Is this the second? I think Thursday, the 2nd February. But anyway, something else. This is all just obviously something I want to show you, part of the bungalow the bungalow experience that we're going on. My dad, the last thing I took out of the house belonged to my mother. Really was the kitchen table, or her table. Yeah, her kitchen table. I was so slow to take that out, but it went off. It's gone off up to the house. Like I was saying in a previous video, Amy Lou is 18, coming up to her 18th birthday, and they were looking for a table to dance on at her party. So I thought that really and truly, I thought that Mom would actually see she'd really enjoy that, and I've no doubt she'll be dancing on it too. But my dad, then I've the whole house stripped, all the wood is out of every room, and the only thing that's left now is the garage. And being so I'm going to show you that. And being a traditional obviously bungalow, the garage was off up here on the right hand side, or the western end. The up and over door, the door you pull open goes up and over. But I've been deliberately leaving this installing, telling myself I'm not, but I have been leaving it. Now, to anybody watching this, doesn't look like much, but to me, I suppose it's so personal. It's my dad's little workshop, and everything down to his voice, and the timber planks that are on the top of this. This wood all this timber that's here would have came from South Terrace, which was our previous house. So it's going back. It's definitely 50 years old, and that's the same workbench that he had in a little workshop down in South Terrace. Now, my dad wasn't like the fella said, my dad was a tugboat captain or skipper, and he was all about boats. But he was also very much into doing little jobs, I suppose, maybe a bit like myself. Sorry, I turn that around this way. But he would come out here a lot, and he do things like kind of old school things now that you won't see anymore, where he would he had rolls of leather, and he'd cut the leather and he'd put it around the oars for rowing, where the oars go through the oar locks, and he'd tack it on with hand tack it and stuff. And he was really tasty and good at that. He was brilliant splicing ropes. He could splice all the ropes, all the plaited ropes and everything. Do a lot of splicing that very few people nowadays could do. The real intricate stuff, and all that would be done here and behind me. Inside here, and he'd be putting stuff in, and he'd have the lighter going and burning the ends of the rope and stuff. And also he'd get notions that he'd make up things, like he'd have canvas, and he was great at sewing. He learned all that going to sea long ago in the Merchant Navy, and in the 50s, and he'd make an old canvas bag or something, or make up something like that, or a sail, sew things together and that kind of way. But just jobbings like that, really. And anything bits of timber, was playing around with wooden timber. He was very good with wooden timber, but that was in the Pyburns anyway, I think. Through his grandfathers and stuff, who were boat builders. And kind of, he didn't have much tools, but he'd be scraping away with the old penknife and stuff. And I suppose I come in here and I see a lot of that. I just turn the camera. I need to turn the camera because you don't want to see me crying. But yeah, so now this is it. I'm going to have to rip it. It has to come, and that's it. No more about it, because it's going to be a bathroom stroke utility room in the new house. And I'm sure he'd be delighted, and progress is good and all the rest, but it's still difficult, because that's the last bit of him now in the house. I've taken all the tools and everything, so now then all everything on the shelves and things, so, and I've emptied his attic, so this is the end. Look, take no, so me, and if he was here now, he'd say, for God's sake, man up and behave yourself. That's it. The next video you're going to see of this place is going to be empty, and I suppose I'll just cry my way through it now for a couple of hours, and we'll talk again later. Now I'm back to you after a few hours. God almighty, I can tell you something for nothing. But geez, that was one of the toughest things I ever did to rip that. In the beginning I was obviously very sentimental and stuff. Jesus, lads, I tell you, that was put together. Like, do you know, if my father was alive, he'd always be saying, by God, the man who made that made it well. Well, I can tell you, the man that made that bitch, he made it well, because my father put nails in that. That was, all I can say is nails must have been cheap. There was nails in that. There was, I don't know how many 6-inch nails were in it, and it was driven and timbered. I mean, crushed their big heavy planks, look, it's on here. It was crushed as well done. I'm going to keep those planks now, and hopefully I'm going to make my own workbench in the garage, because I have a garage going out the back. I'm going to keep some things. In the beginning, sure, I was very emotional, and as the time went on, then I got into a right dog fight with it. And I could hear my father, I could feel my father, I'd say he had some good laugh at me, and I ripping that, because I can tell you one thing, he knew when I went at that, because he put it together, he knew that that was going to be no easy job. Did I find any treasure? Well, that kind of all depends on what you consider treasure. Do you know, this was down behind the thing, very, very old ashtray. It's broken, isn't it? It's ceramic ashtray, lovely piece is broken. I don't know, I didn't get it all. There's bits cracked out of it, but I'm going to keep it and glue it anyway. Probably worth no monetary value, but to me, that's a lovely piece to find when you're inside my headspace. But down here, look, be showing you these. You see these, look. Found a right load of these and crushed out that very, again, I was very emotional over them. They're bits of steel. What we used to do with them is, or my dad would do, he'd paint them silver, bore a hole in them, put a wire on them, and we'd use them as sinkers when we'd go fishing. We used to be out south of the Fastnet or west of the Mizzen with them. You would have 12 feathers on the, there'd be 12 feathers on the line, 2 sets of 6, and a sinker like that. And by God, I tell you, it would be long filling a box of mackerel or a box of pollock. Myself and my father, I used to only be about 5 or 6 years old, and poor old John Bill from Cape Clear, John Cadigan. But they're there an awful long time, those sinkers, because I remember I used to go, my dad down to, he was George the Smith below in Ballyhob. And anybody that's watching this now would have known George the Smith knows that was a long time ago. We used to get the that steel off of him, because I didn't even know they were there under that bench a long time. They possibly came up from South Terrace, and my dad had a boat called the Mary Joseph, I'd say, so we never used them after that. When we got the punts and stuff, just shooting nets and a few pots and things, that way we used to do very little fishing, mackerel fishing and stuff. But they're there a long time. I'm going to hold on to them, you know. Put them into box sheet now, and when I get a bit of time down the line, I'll paint them silver, and I'll bore holes, I'll make sinkers out of them and keep them. Yeah, obviously never got around to doing it, so he only had about 40 years. but I'm going to get around to it, hopefully, if I stay around. I'll get that done there now the next few years, but I'm going to keep them anyway. And when I have my little workshop down back here, I'll be using his bench and everything, his voice, and we'll do that. I might, hopefully, you know, if I'm still on Instagram or YouTube, and we're still talking, me and you, I'll show you. That'll be a nice little project to do. That's kind of it. I must tidy up here now, and I didn't find any crock of gold, but yeah, there were a few nice things, and sweep up a bit and thing, and that's kind of the garage kind of done then, and onwards and upwards we'll be going. That's it for now. Today is, again, it's what day is it? I'm saying today, so I know myself when I come around to it. Today is the 2nd of February. It's a Thursday evening now, coming on about 4:30. Talk soon. I'm back again. Just a couple of more things I wanted to show you. I found that as well under the bench. Now I know these things mean nothing to you guys watching this, but to me, you know, this is like treasure and gold to me. Do you remember I was telling you, my dad, he used to like what he'd do is he'd cut the leather and he used to tack it on the oars, you know, for rowing, where the oars go through the oarlocks and stuff. He put the leather on. There's obviously a name for it. I can't think of it right now. But then I find a piece of leather in under the bench. I think one of the last pair of oars that he did that, definitely that I know, it's the last ones he did were for old Dr. Larry O'Connor. And Larry got ill himself soon after, I'd say. But Dad was old that time and he didn't do a great job on Larry's oars at all. He was very upset over it. His hands were gone and everything, and the old tacks were playing hell with him. Sure, I was offering to help him, but he wanted to do it on his own, and I know he wasn't very happy about that job because, to be fair to him, like anything, especially with boats, but anything, he was a fairly slocked old man. And that looking old hawthorn stick, that's a really nice piece actually. I have no idea. There's no connection to my family that I know. Obviously my dad picked it up somewhere or had it for some reason. Maybe it does belong to somebody in my family, I have no idea. But it is now, because I'm going to keep it now. It's belonged to somebody in my family now, i.e. me. I'm going to hold on to that. They're nice pieces. Or maybe one of my girls would like it. That's it. It's all done, look. That's it, all done. So on to the next thing. We'll talk soon.